back again with an exciting video. Today's video is going to be my view on hoodoo. What do I think of African American hoodoo? I say African American hoodoo because you cannot say hoodoo without African before it. You know, because a lot of people want to jump out of nowhere with this thought of hoodoo as it's being something that just came out of nowhere whatsoever. No, it is an African American tradition, and I got to state this on this video. So all you charlatan wannabes that come out of nowhere, culture vulturing, and saying that you practice hoodoo, I will not mention any names, but I will talk as a person who, as a Haitian who came up in the United States in his infancy, started learning hoodoo from hoodoo practitioners. African American hoodoo practitioners. I want to say that, because many people want to throw away the black origins of hoodoo and say, oh, well, we're hoodoo practitioners. No. We gotta keep that there. We gotta keep that there. And when you come to this channel, keep in mind that you're not getting no culturally appropriated Haitian voodoo or perspective that's fucked up. Period. So I want to say this. Hoodoo to me, in comparison to voodoo, my views on hoodoo are very sincere because I've met a lot of people of African American descent that are amazing, phenomenal when it comes to working, So I want to say this. Hoodoo to me, when I think of hoodoo, I think of freedom and liberty. I think of freedom as in the sense of a hoodoo person is, when you talk about many African-based traditions, a lot of these traditions are, what do we say, they're like let's just say they're very obligating, and you're ground to the stone where your freedom is almost not there. Hoodoo is the exact opposite. Hoodoo is more of in a sense of, individual, we are free, we're free to wander and explore, and I think that from what I've seen with many hoodoo practitioners making their own oils, making their own herbs, it is as though they do not have a written, let's just say a written system that is just basically says, well, this is it. It is freedom, to experiment, to come about with their own, own workings, And even in that working aspect, there is a spiritual aspect of hoodoo too. See, I think many people have been following a lot of these commercial pages ran by white folks. And, they put hoodoo up there and now everybody thinks that is hoodoo. Fucking, what they call it? Rabbit's foot, a couple of candles, and a couple of jinx removing oils and, herbal bags, whatever, mixtures, whatever, and they think that's hoodoo. No, hoodoo is more than that. For me, being a practitioner of Haitian voodoo, I see myself, when I come into the African American or hoodoo community, I see myself as reaching out to people overseas itself, meeting my brothers and sisters across the water. That's how I see it. I don't see it as though we are separate. I see it as though these are my lost brothers and sisters that were taken from the same place, and me reconnecting. It's like, hey, everybody, how are you guys? Haven't seen you in a while. So it's like a party when I come about, with hoodoo practitioners itself, and I'm always excited, and, when it comes to hoodoo, I hear a lot of people in many traditions, a lot of these Palo Mayombe cats, they come out talking like reckless about hoodoo. You know what I'm saying? Like reckless out of it, like for real, I'm being honest. Listen, I got a lot of Palo friends, and I know people, in that community. And it's like a lot of these guys underestimate the power of Palo. Of hoodoo. See, I think a lot of these people that think of Palo, like hoodoo, from a Palo perspective, they are talking about they're looking at the commercial or the whitewashed version of hoodoo. And that is their understanding of hoodoo. When you really sit down and get into the African American experience, you begin to see that the hoodoo, the true hoodoo, is a hoodoo that is beyond all this Hollywood fucking skeleton. What is it? The Skeleton Key movie whatsoever. It is beyond that. See, You talk about working with the dead. There's working with the dead in Hoodoo too, but you'll never ever experience that if you're talking, you're sitting down with these culture vultures whatsoever. You won't, So I say Hoodoo is something that should be respected by in all facets of the African spirituality community. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a lot of people, in Ifa, whatever. I mean, there's a lot of people that look down on Hoodoo. No, you can't do that because this is the African American experience. And even for you a lot of African Americans that, jump out and jump into these other traditions, you know what I'm saying? I think African Americans should embrace Hoodoo because this is what you created in America. So same thing for me in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? This is my tradition. So when I step over here in a Western world, I try and I do this respectfully, not to step on other people's traditions itself. And I think that, if many of us begin to approach that, okay, if you want to learn my tradition, that is fine. But if you're African American, you have African American Hoodoo. Why are you neglecting that? Why? See, I say this, people, I would recommend, especially my African American community, like, listen, do your research. Hoodoo is something that I think a lot of people are neglecting, and and I think they've become discouraged because who is basically propagating that he is Hoodoo, or this is their tradition, or they are Hoodoo practitioners. I say this: do not pay attention to the nonsense. Maybe you have to go down south. If that's what you need to do, you got to do that. For me, I had to get back into my roots. I had to go to my country, Haiti. So I say to many of you who live up north, who had family that came from the south, that's into Hoodoo practice or interested into it, I think that you may have to go to the south. So this is just my opinion. There's just some things that you just got to go back home for. I had to do that myself. So with that said, I hope this video has been taken sincerely, that I was sincere about the things I said today. I hope that is very informative. Thank you guys for watching. Like and subscribe.